Councilmember Heinrich.
Thank you, Chairman. Chief, one of the things I want to ask you about is talk a little bit about the Intelligence Services Bureau and how the posture there has changed over the course of the last few years.
When 4 years ago, one of the biggest failures at January 6th was our intelligence failure. And we have gone from an agency that consumed intelligence. The FBI would inform us of things, and DHS. We're now a major player in the intelligence community in this region. We have folks assigned to different task forces, and we have folks working directly with the FBI and DHS. And we not only still consume intelligence, but we gather intelligence, we analyze the intelligence, we operationalize that intelligence. It allows us to do better operational planning for things that occur on our campus. And most importantly, we disseminate that intelligence. We disseminate it to our own folks, and we share it with other agencies in the intelligence community.
As you mentioned in your testimony, there have been just very significant increases in the number of threats to senators and members of Congress. I think you said in your testimony that there were more than 9,400 incidents in 2024. Just talk a little bit generally about how Capitol Police has responded to that and what the increase in protection response looks like under the current threat environment.
So one of the biggest challenges was to keep up with that caseload. For some period of time after I got here, we had the same number of agents that were investigating the threats, and yet the number of threats had tripled, quadrupled. And so we had to add, and we continue to add folks in our investigations division, and not only do I think they do a good job at investigating those cases, but where we were still, I think, falling short of the mark was in terms of our being responsive back to the reporting parties. Mm-hmm. The good news is that really through the efforts of the Sergeant at Arms, along with the Capitol Police, we have gotten members to report everything, and this is good. But it's now up to us to make sure that we're responsive and that we get back to the reporting parties and let them know what progress we've made in the investigation, what we found out, those kinds of things. And we, for a long time, have fallen short on that. We have our Protection Investigative Intelligence Operations Center up and running 24/7 now, and that Operations Center will go a long way in making sure that not only are threats acted on immediately and that get the appropriate attention, but that we are better at getting back to members with the information that we're able to gather through those investigations.
I've seen firsthand the shift from sort of a one-way communication to more of a partnership. So I think on behalf of a lot of members, we appreciate that very much. I understand you only have a few weeks left before your retirement. Of all the changes that you've implemented in the department, which ones do you think had the greatest impact on moving the needle, improving security?
I think getting the appropriate staff together. I mean, if you look at the and I read every single one of the after-action reports that in 2021. Many of them pointed out that the Capitol Police were woefully understaffed and had been historically understaffed. Getting the staffing up to where it should be so that we can have the number of posts that we really need to have, so we have enough screening entrances, to handle the folks that come here to work, come here to visit. To be able to respond quickly, and one of the things I'm most proud of is our rapid response team, where when there's a disruption anywhere on this campus, there is a quick response by Capitol Police, and it's an effective response. And so I think that we're ready for anything. whereas before it was always, well, we've got a problem here, let's find a few people that we can pull off of a post to respond.
Right.
We are light years ahead of that with our operational planning now, and I think that this campus is much safer because of it.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you. Thank you both for being here. Ms. Hemingway, I'd like to start with you. You know, when we